Hey guys, and I want to welcome you all back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. And for today's video, we have an interesting discussion topic, and we're talking about whether or not you should wait for the characters. And I know they're making it kind of hard. They're making it hard with this universe rep stuff, and to make matters worse, they brought back Ultra Hit, one of the best characters in the freaking game. The question is, should you wait? We're going to discuss that now. So I want to know what you guys think, what you're doing. Are you saving Chrono Crystals? How much Chrono Crystals, if you're saving, do you have? Are you, hanging on by a thread and you want to go ahead and summon for these characters, but you're holding strong? Are you becoming a victim of FOMO, where you're kind of seeing these characters often in PvP matches and it's Jiren or whoever and you want them? Do you have the ideal opportunity to get all the best Universe Reps characters currently? Because you do. Literally all the best characters are live right now in the summon banner, and I really crucified them for this. I thought this was so scummy. This guy should have been on that freaking banner with the new characters. They purposely put him here so they didn't have to put him on the banner. Aren't the other two LFs on the banner too? The other banner? They purposely put this guy in his own banner, so you'd have to summon here, by the way. But all the best characters are live. Are you dealing with that and you want to go ahead and summon? Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to join in and post that comment down below. So why would you wait? Well, long story short, it's the anniversary. Well, what does that mean? That means that there's going to be more banners. If you didn't see my When Will Vegito Blue release video, be sure to check it out. The link is down below, because in that video, I answer the question of when will an Ultra release next in the game. And here's the deal. The sad reality of the game currently is that Ultras are, and this isn't really particularly sad, but Ultras are at the pinnacle of the game. And there was a period last year where they would pop in like Ultra Super Gogeta, Ultra Vegito, Super Vegito, things like that, and they would be really, really good. They'd be the best characters, but the LFs could compete. LFs can no longer compete. They've really drove home that that's a new rarity. So since that's the case, that means that if you want to have the best chance to compete going forward, these characters, while they're nice, they have good gimmicks, etc. Some of them are better than others. You understand that. But the Ultras are the ones we should be diverting our attention to with the eye towards the future, right? Because Ultra Gogeta Blue is 7 months old, dude. And he's still incredibly powerful, one of the best 5 characters in the game. He's still really good, right? So Ultras are the only characters, it seems, that have longevity anymore. All these LFs, for the most part, most of them start falling off nearly instantly because of the boost system and all that stuff and just the way they're designed. So, and unfortunately, I really like Goku and Frieza, but I'm really worried about how they'll do in a couple of months when they fall out of the boost system. I am terrified because all the tag characters have burned me with that. I think that all of them have been really, really subpar post falling out. A couple of them are better than others, obviously. But anyway, so all this stuff is live. They have Hit here. He's here for a week, okay? A week. So keep in mind that if you wait, this doesn't apply to Hit. If you want Hit, you have to go for him now or wait for his banner to return. It probably will return at some point during this anniversary, maybe during the tail end. But that's a shot in the dark. I don't know. You can, however, wait for this banner. This is up until the 18th of July. You know how far that is? That's as far as when Part 3 will be live in the game. I believe Part 3's banner last year was Ultra Vegito, and it came out on the 12th of... I did this in the Vegito Blue video I mentioned earlier in the description. I think it was the 12th of July. It was either the 12th or the 22nd. Either way, this banner is going to be up for freaking ever. You can wait a really long time before you decide to pull there. This banner won't be up as long. It's only going to be up for another couple of weeks, but again, you could wait for 16 or 17 if you want to. And so, like I said, we are in the anniversary, and last year, again, reference that video for more in-depth stuff. But last year, what they did was they had the banner, which was Part 1, which is the stuff we see now, right? And then also, they decided for Part 2 to come back around the 21st, I believe, the 21st of the month, next month. Or, yeah, 21st of June, in which, at that point, they decided to release the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Tapion banner for Part 2. So that means that we are looking at a banner in the mid/third week of next month. That's when we're going to see another release banner. Now, here's the funny thing. Ultras have been monthly for most of the year. If you look at what we've got since the end of last year with Ultra Gogeta Blue, we have got a lot of Ultras releasing on the game in a really quick time period, because prior they would come out at about 3-month intervals, right? So that's how things were prior to that. But this year they have said, no, screw that, we're pushing them out. Again, they're really driving home that these characters are a new rarity, and just like any other new rarity, they have to fill out this rarity, right? They've got to build an archive of characters, and they're going to just keep funneling them out. So with that being said, we have had only 2 opportunities this month, or 2 times this month, where they have delayed that progress. And what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is that, again, monthly means they're going to release one every month. Typically, for example, LFs have been monthly for 2 years. And funny fact about that is I started saying this way back when they first became monthly. I was like, hey guys, looks like LFs are becoming monthly, and people are like, no, they're not. They're still going to be every other month. And I'm like, no, here's another one. It really looks like they're monthly, and they wind up being monthly. And they're so monthly. In fact, you can pinpoint when they'll release unless there's a celebration, and that's going to be on like the 14th, the middle portion of the month. Every time they release right then, unless there's a celebration, in which case that throws everything off. Ultras had pinpoint a date towards the end of the month, because what they were doing was they were going first week of the month is probably a Zenkai, second week of the month is an LF, third week is another Zenkai / filler / rerun banners like this hit banner might pop up. They drop a lot of Ultra banners in between, and then also that last month would be an Ultra, and then you rinse and repeat. That's their schedule for the most part. We've already missed that for right now because Kid Buu came out on the 30th of April, and unless they get something today that we don't know about, there has not actually been another Ultra release. Fun fact, that means that they released Hit in that time slot because they brought Hit back. That's what they did, because like I said, last month is typically an Ultra, so that's what they're doing right now, huh? Nice way to pat it out, guys. So anyway, we're not getting anything because Hit's back. All right, so that means that we've already missed the schedule, and the only other time we've missed the monthly schedule is when we had Battle Hour, when they pushed it to being a couple of weeks later, I believe, with Ultra Rose, I believe it was. They pushed him a few weeks back. So here's something interesting that I don't know that a lot of people are talking about. An Ultra could be in the same time slot as last year's anniversary, which was, I believe, mid-July, right? It was like mid-end of July, like I mentioned earlier, for Vegito, which already is off schedule because they hadn't established that schedule back then. But there's also a possibility an Ultra pops up next month for Part 2 instead of Part 3, because that would be more similar to what they did for the Battle Hour celebration. So that's something that's also on the table. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But anyway, if you're waiting, what are you waiting for? Part 2 is most likely going to be Sagas from the Movies themed, in which case we probably will get the return of Beast Gohan. I've been calling that for a while. He hasn't been back in nearly 7 months. So yeah, he's going to probably be back there. And they'll probably drop a 1% Sparking. I'm hoping that it's a Transforming Ultimate Gohan. That'd be awesome. And then they'll probably drop an LF Orange Piccolo. That's what I'm expecting. And then for Part 3, assuming things stay the same as last year, that would be in July again, and probably an Ultra Vegito Blue, okay? So that's what we're looking at here. So if you're waiting, you have time to wait probably until about Part 3 for this banner. That's the key thing, is unless you're dealing with FOMO, unless you really want these characters, etc., you can wait. You can be patient. Well, if you can be patient, you got to be patient, right? So what are you missing out on if you wait? That's another thing to kind of mention here. Well, you're missing out on the opportunity to get some solid characters. I think all of them actually, like the 1% Sparkings, like this is an A+ banner to me. I think that the amount of characters on this banner is a huge win. And you go back and look at Part 1 last year. Seriously. Go back and look at Part 1. This banner has like 6 characters. I don't think we've had 6 new characters on one banner since like Legends Fest 2020. This banner is a huge win. I don't even care about the quality of like what your opinions are for like the LF or whatever. I don't care. This banner is a huge win, just quality wise. Step up 2, all that stuff. This is a great banner to me. So overall, though, I do think all these characters are awesome, worthwhile, awesome to have, stuff like that. Even the EXs are really good. So you're missing out on the opportunity to use those characters right now, but you're also missing out on the opportunity to get and use them right now when they're in the peak of their boost system. If you wait until July, they'll probably be removed by September from that boost system, so they're going to see a massive decline in usefulness. So that is a little bit of the FOMO I was talking about, where like they incent. That's why the freaking boost system is dumb, and that's why it exists. It's to force you to decide to summon for characters now. It's also there to force FOMO down your throat when you go into every freaking match and get your face stomped in by the new Ultra or whatever. By the way, Ultra Rose really needs to get out of that boost system. Him and his batch of characters like Cell and they need to get about. They need to leave. Anyway. So that's why it's there. So you get your face stomped in, you're like, oh, let me go get that character, right? So anyway, that's what you're missing out on, but that's really like it, right? I think if you can afford to wait and stockpile Chrono Crystals from the event going on right now, you could do that. But if you don't want to wait, I understand, particularly in the case of Hit. I don't have Hit, and if I spent more money on the game like I used to a couple of years ago, I would go in for Hit right now to get this opportunity to get him. I'm not going to, but he is 100% worth summoning. He might very well be better than whatever character pops up next, right? In terms of part 2 and the Ultra, I wouldn't even be surprised if he's better because Hit's really, really freaking good. And another thing is too, if you're a new player, right? Or if you haven't summoned in a long while or you're a returning player, all those caveats, right now is also a really peak time to summon. Again, I hate this. This is terrible. But the fact is, 17 is one of the best characters in the game, one of the best non-ultras in the game, one of the best team characters to run with the Universe Reps team. Him and Ultra Hit, you have literally all, and the characters on this banner, you have literally probably the 5 best characters from this tag all available to summon right now. So like you could go from 0 to hero and build yourself a really good team. I might be forgetting 1 or 2 characters when I say 5 best, but for the most part you got 5 of the best, probably 5 of the top 10 for sure. I don't think that's debatable. Characters available. You can go from 0 to hero. So that's the argument not to wait, right? Alongside, you know, getting them at a lesser useful point, etc. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys' plans are. I'll see you all in the next one. And check out that Vegito video. Like I said, it's on the screen.